Chris Hedges is a Pulitzer Prize-winning reporter and author and a participant at the Occupy Wall Street rally in New York last week and in Washington today. He joins us from our Washington bureau. So, Mr. Hedges, you were a participant in the protest. How would you describe your role in this movement?
I'm not an organizer. I'm speaking tonight at the rally in Washington, and I've given interviews and participated in events in New York.
So what exactly is everybody complaining about? And also give me a sense of how much momentum this movement has, because it looks pretty nothing burger so far. Just a few guys, guitars, nobody knows what they want. They can't even name the names of the firms that they're protesting against. Very weak, low budget. I
wouldn't agree with that assessment at all. They pulled thousands of people into the street last night. And here in Washington, when everybody marched past Bank of America, they were shouting, shame, shame, shame. They know the names of these firms, and they know what these firms have done, not only to the American economy, but to the global economy and the criminal class who runs them.
Well, Kevin made this point of, nobody knows what they want. What do you say to that? I mean, we know that this is a very diverse group. There are many different agendas at play. What is the sense you have of what this movement would like to see happen?
They know precisely what they want. They want to reverse the corporate coup that's taken place in the United States and render the citizenry impotent. And they won't stop until that happens. And frankly, if we don't break the back of corporations, we're all finished anyway, since they're rapidly trashing the ecosystem on which the human species depends for survival. This is literally a fight for life. It's that grave, it's that serious. Corporations, unfettered capitalism, as Karl Marx understood, is a revolutionary force. It commodifies everything, human beings, the natural world, which it exploits for profit until exhaustion or collapse. And the bottom line is we don't have much time left. We are on the cusp of perhaps another major banking crisis in Europe, defaults in Greece, followed by Spain, Portugal. There's been no restrictions, no regulations of Wall Street. They've looted the U.S. Treasury. They've played all the games that they were playing before. And we're about to pay for it all over again.
Listen, don't take this the wrong way, but you sound like a left-wing nut bar. If you want to shut down every corporation, every bank, where are you going to get a job? Where are you going to work? Where's the economy going to go?
Corporations don't produce anything. And
oh, really?
No. Financial corporations on Wall Street.
Are you driving a car to the protest?
No. They are speculators. I'm talking about the financial institutions like Goldman Sachs. They don't manufacture. They don't make anything. They gamble. They use money, and they believe falsely that money is real as we dismantle our manufacturing base and send jobs over the border to Mexico and finally into the embrace of China.
Well, I see that you and Kevin could get into an absolutely huge argument here.
I don't usually go on shows where people descend to character assassination. If you want to discuss issues, that's fine, but I mean, this sounds like Fox News, and I don't go on Fox News. I mean, either you discuss the issues, and look, you have had very eloquent writers, people like John Ralston Saul in Canada, who have laid this out with, incredible lucidity. And to somehow attack this critique by calling someone a nutcase engages in the kind of trash talk that's polluted the corporate airways.
Excuse me, let's debate the issues then.
You were the one who started it.
I didn't call you a nutcase, I called you a nut bar.
You said you sounded like a left-wing nutcase.
Yes, bar.
Okay, that's an insult. And
are you left-wing and leaning at least, would you say?
No, I would say that...
You're a centrist?
Can I finish?
Please.
I would say that those who are protesting the rise of the corporate state are in fact on the political spectrum the true conservatives, because they're calling for the restoration of the rule of law. The radicals have seized power, and they have trashed all regulations and legal impediments to a reconfiguration of American society into a form of neo-feudalism. And that's what we're really asking for, is the restoration of the rule of law.
Okay, but you don't see any value in the banking system providing a financial infrastructure.
That's not what I said. I didn't say that.
I'm asking you.
A banking system that functions as a banking system should And in Canada, you do not have a banking crisis because you did not tear down the walls between commercial and investment banks and turn all of your banks into hedge funds. If instead of handing massive sums of money to Citibank, Wells Fargo, which are basically zombie banks, they still hold tremendous toxic assets, we had created 10 regional banks with $10 billion each and leveraged them 10 to 1, people could have been saved. 6 million people have been pushed out of their homes because of foreclosures and mortgages. We could have reinvested in communities. Small businesses which cannot get credit would have gotten credit. Instead, they're just sitting on the capital and not lending it.
So we're certainly giving you an opportunity to speak your mind. Just so we can come full circle, what do you suggest should be done with Goldman Sachs specifically?
They should be prosecuted. When you shove subprime mortgages on families that you know can't repay it, and then you dice up those mortgages as assets and sell them and bet against them through AIG, that's fraudulent activity.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We'd like to hear your thoughts.
It'll be the last time.
No, listen, Bill, I have no trouble understanding what they're complaining about.
Oh,
Wall Street
pass
helped.
econ?
I was an economist for more than 3 years, so I think
guess
so.
you did. No wonder.
Yes.
You were probably the grad student who flunked me in Econ 101.
No, but I would have if I'd had the chance. Now, let me tell you what they're talking about. They're complaining about the fact that Wall Street wrecked the economy 3 years ago, and nobody's held responsible for that. Not a single person has been indicted or convicted for destroying 20% of our national net worth accumulated over the course of 2 centuries. They're upset about the fact that Wall Street has iron control over the economic policies of this country, and that one party is a wholly owned subsidiary of Wall Street, and the other party caters to them as well. That's the real truth of the matter, as you said before. And
get the man a bongo drum. They found their spokesman. Okay.
Well,
take your shoes off, get a bongo drum, forget where to go to the bathroom, and it's yours.
Listen, if I am a spokesman for all the people who think that we should not have 24 million people in this country who can't find a full-time job, that we should not have 50 million people in this country who can't see a doctor when they're sick, that we shouldn't have 47 million people in this country who need government help in order to feed themselves, and we shouldn't have 15 million families who owe more on their mortgage than the value of their home, okay, I'll be that spokesman.
Oh, look, they're standing in the audience. Okay. All right.
I understand it's kind of a shame that there's no opening on the Democratic side of the presidential. Well, there may be an opening on the Democratic side of the presidential.
No, I mean, just what? How will they know that they've won? I mean, this is my second question, other than the bathrooms. How will they know when they've won? When business has been brought to their knees?
Well, I think there's something.
So I don't know.
Come on.
How will they know they've won?
There's a little in between where business is now and to their knees. That's a little bit of a straw dog.
Well, I don't think that we live in a country where people hate their employer. I think we live in a country where they hate the nameless. Well, they want to keep getting.
Did you see that movie, Stupid Bosses, or whatever?
It's a great movie. But you know, the solution is somewhere obviously in between. I mean, it's not to bring business to their knees.
No.
We need them to be healthy. We need them to hire more people.
They're very healthy. They're sitting.
Well, not healthy enough to bring employment under 9. You know, unemployment's
That's a
9%.
choice. That's a choice they make.
Why are they choosing?
So how do you choose?
It's a choice to sit on this.
Wait a minute. Everybody, all the Democrats in Congress, the Dodd-Frank Act is requiring the banks to sit on more capital, to have more capital reserves. And you guys are telling me that the banks are sitting on capital because they've got more capital reserves. Well, make up your mind. What do you want? Do you want banks that take risk, or you want the Dodd-Frank Act? You can't have it both ways.
I'm sorry, that is nonsense.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
Okay?
Why is it nonsense?
I'll tell you why. The banks have $1.6 trillion on deposit with the Federal Reserve, and the Federal Reserve is paying them $40 billion a year in interest not to lend the money to you and to me and to everybody else in America.
What political party does its Treasury Secretary belong to?
It has nothing to do with the Treasury Secretary. It has to do with the Federal Reserve, the people who run the printing presses and lent out
helicopters.
Yes, the people who lent out $16 trillion to the big banks when other people couldn't find a job in America and desperately needed that cash. $16 trillion.
Wait. Wait a second. Wait a second. All right. It's